is a question from Suri from Egypt. You said I have never done anything wrong. I have. A few years ago, I was in the military, and I hurt many people in the peaceful protest about gay rights. How do I release that belief that I really did do wrong?
Well, here, let's be really clear. So one of the things that happens is you have a life path. We all have a life path. And there is a very interesting aspect going on right now. There is lots of these fundamental religious structures all coming to the surface. And they are all coming to the surface to be released. And so one of the things that happens in everybody's life at some point or another, we do something that we begin to be very clear was inappropriate. So let's not use the word wrong. This thing that I did was not correct. This is not who I am. And let me ask you, will you ever do it again? And the answer is no. What happens is sometimes in these life paths as a spiritual being, we step into things that are really ugly. And we do things that are really ugly. And the key is, do you do it again? Because you didn't learn the lesson. You didn't have the experience. You didn't really let that part of that guidance system in the heart be heard, because you do something like that and you create a result and the heart says, this isn't who I am. This isn't right. I can never do this again. Those moments are life-altering. The key to those moments is let go of the guilt. Let go of the blame. Let go of the punishment. Let go of why did I do that? What's wrong with me? Because the question you're answering when you say what's wrong with me is you're simply, the heart is saying this isn't who you are. And the question you're really asking is, I have believed all those that were external that led me down this path, and I've followed this path. I've picked up a gun. I've gone into this. I've abused people. I've done what they told me was right. But when you get to that point where you are asking the question, the heart says, this isn't who you are. You can't do this anymore. And there's a really firm statement in that, and every single one of us, whenever that place is hit, is if you turn away from it and you say, well, they deserved it, there is pain beyond pain. I turned away from the heart. When the soul was telling me, this is not your path. There's no guilt. There's no blame there. So you had an experience. Did you like the experience? I'm hearing you really clearly, no. Don't punish yourself. I'm saying this to everybody. Do not punish yourself. Stay out of the why did I do that. The why you did it is you believed the external world who said, this is the truth. And I guarantee you, if you can look back at your whole life, every one of you, and you followed yourself right to that point where you could be that damaging to others, there were many red lights all through the process where you said, this doesn't feel right. I don't really want to be doing this, but I'm a soldier and I signed up and I have to, or whatever. It is the most traumatic experience a person can have, is to be confronted by the soul and the heart at that point. And it's really from a great place. It's not a place of punishment or a place of sin or any of those words. It's a place that says, do you really want to continue here? And you look at that, and what you do is you lay down your gun. And millions of people have been exactly where you are for all kinds of reasons, and they have laid down their gun. And many have not. And they suffer in that space because now they don't know how to get out of it. But you were wise. You chose. But the thing I'm really telling you is take a deep breath and look at it as a communication from the heart that wasn't punishing. It simply said, is this really who you are? And the answer was glaring, no. But the key is recognize that you made the decision that said, no, I can't do this. Take a breath. Recognize it as a great validation. Those courageous beings that you punished in that context were brave enough to play out their side of the game to give you that opportunity. It also gave them the opportunity in their configuration to simply recognize the same aspect of themselves. You can't do it wrong. You can do things that aren't appropriate for you, but the question is, did you choose a manner in which you got it? And as I look at your space, you got it very clearly. This is not who I am. Stay out of the punishment. Stay out of the guilt. Nothing to forgive. Nobody to go to and ask for forgiveness. You learned that which you came to learn. Dust off your sandals, get about your business, and go and simply demonstrate yourself in this light I've been talking about. And simply, you don't have to fix anybody else, but just simply get congruent with your well-being and then be who you are. That's what's happening to everybody on the planet. You're going to watch some real brutality, some really, really ugly things in the next 5 or 6 years. Really ugly, hurtful things to everybody. And there'll become a point where on a world level, that soul consciousness will say, are you sure you want to continue this path? And people will lay down their guns when that moment comes. They will stop these crazy wars. They will stop arguing of whose God is bigger. And you find that there is no different God. There is only one spiritual being. And the real find is, you are that. Everything that I've said in these last 4 sessions is summed up right there. You are that creative spirit that brought everything to being to have this experience to create. And you'll be stunned and amazed at how marvelous and the opportunity that's sitting in front of you. I tell you, you cannot imagine from where, I'm talking to everybody, where you're sitting, the possibilities that are simply a breath away from you. Remarkable opportunities. Simply holding out your hand and allowing the apple to appear to give to the child as they smile at you. That's the beginning step, not the ending step. So thank you for asking that question. Let it go. You didn't do anything wrong, but you've had a great awareness.